Hannah said my hairdo looked like a 50s housewife.
Oh, nice.
She actually meant it in a good way.
Okay.
She did.
Okay.
She did, but yeah. I'm terrified to wash it
Okay.
because it's gonna, of course it's gonna shrink, right?
Yeah,
It's gonna curl. And I'm hoping I don't look like a poodle.
Oh, I don't think you'll be a poodle.
But yeah.
All right. I like it.
I know, I chopped it off.
Yeah.
So, okay. We centered? We ready?
Oh boy.
Happy Thursday, Flosstube.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, crafty friends. We are coming at you with a... Gary's really coming at you this morning. We did a massive shop update. My name's Caroline. I am the owner of Evertote.
I'm Carrie. I'm the owner of Roxy Floss Co.
And if you're new around here, our two businesses, we work together. Our two businesses are in the same building. Evertote is the exclusive retailer of Roxy Floss Co. All of the goodies that Carrie makes, we package them, we card all the floss, wind all the floss, put that together, and I am responsible, it's my job, for putting it all together into the most beautiful things to make.
Seems to work.
Yeah, you make really nice stuff.
Thanks, man.
So we had a huge shop update on Monday, and so thought we would show you all the things. And in fact, there's so many things and there's so much stitching that it's actually also kind of like a floss tube as well as a shop update. So it's a shop update floss tube combo today for you. And I have copious notes. So you know that when I have copious notes, it's probably going to be mostly me talking for the next little while. So apologies in advance. Carrie's prepared to be my wing girl. See my list? Yeah, it's quite a list.
It is.
So today we're going to be talking about, these are the things that we put in that are now out into the world. The part 4 of the 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers collaboration. The Maximum Cross Stitch Owls of the Black Forest. Brand new collaboration with Evertote, Roxy Floss Co. Ellen's new chart. It's adorable. I've got the shop model pillow here to show you. There's also a bag set with a thread bed. We've got the Jacobpalooza, the modern folk embroidery retreat that Evertote hosted last October. There were some exclusive charts and bags and needle minders that were available for the attendees. Those are now released for general sale. So I'm going to show you those.
They're fantastic.
They're pretty awesome. We got a wild hair last week to start all the things. And one of both Carrie and my bucket list stitches, and I know on many of yours as well, is the Peacorn, Unicorn, and a Badger. Peacorn? I you know what? I always do that. I always say Peacorn.
Peacock.
Peacock, a unicorn, and a badger.
It's not and a badger though. I just
Peacock, unicorn.
It's a peacock, a unicorn, a badger.
Oh.
I always put the and in there as well.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing it.
Okay. We've renamed the chart.
We've renamed it and we're doing it and it's amazing. And we've got new linen for that. We've also got some other new linens in the shop. And we've got a couple of extra notion-y type things like a thread dome and some new floss folios in the shop. So we're going to be showing you all of that. Whew. First thing I want to tell you though, that we wanted to tell you is that Carrie now has some help downstairs.
Yep. It's official. I have a studio assistant and she is the bomb.
She's amazing. She's amazing. Yeah. Her name is Rebecca.
Yeah.
And so Rebecca is, it was almost like, so we interviewed a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Rebecca's resume stood out because she had some crafting experience, but she also had some, she's stagehand, so she's got some technical experience, costuming experience. She's got a costuming degree from Fanshawe.
Yeah.
So she's got a lot of the skills already, the skill sets coming into a business like this where, you know, we're talking rotary cutters and fabric counts and, you know, Carrie's processes and all of that. And she's just kind of stepped right in and she's
She's a good egg.
Yeah.
She's got a good head on her shoulders, and yeah, she's been really wonderful.
For the last little while, you have been run off your feet.
About August or July. It's been a little hectic.
It's been full on.
Yeah.
And so this is a timely move and really a positive one. So in order to celebrate this, wanted to let those of you know who are in the Floss Club. There's a Roxy Floss Co Floss Club. Lots of spots open. There's 2 packs that come out once a month. There's a neutrals and there's a brights modern. So the neutrals palette is more like colors that would work, sort of more old-fashioned, samplery, right? And then your brights modern pack is going to be sort of
a little cleaner.
Yeah.
But not neons.
No,
sometimes they are.
Sometimes you'll throw in a few neons in there, but every month it's a surprise, right?
Just usually a little cleaner and a little more modern.
Yeah. So this month, for the first time, very first time, Rebecca dyed the Brights Club. And they are all one of a kind.
Yeah.
And it's a phenomenal pack.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Yeah. So for the first time, and probably the only time, we are listing in the shop the Brights Club for this month is going to be a separate listing all on its own. If you're already part of the club, you're already going to get it. But we're going to list it as a separate one-off, exclusive, Rebecca's first dye. You described her maiden voyage.
Yeah.
So Rebecca's first dye job for Roxy Floss Co. It's the, oh gosh, what month are we in? It's the February Brights pack.
Yeah.
And you're not going to see it. There's not going to be a spoiler. It's going to be a grayed out picture. It'll be its own listing. It's a pack of 5 flosses. They are gorgeous and they are one of a kind. So when they're gone, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. So that's the first thing.
Get them while they're hot.
Get them while it's hot. That's right. Okay, let's go down my list. Next thing I needed to tell you about, the Modern Folk Embroidery Roxy Floss Co Evertote Salentine's boxes are currently flying out the door, packing and shipping them as quickly and efficiently as we can. We're almost done. We should be finished shipping the boxes by tomorrow, which is Friday the 19th. So Friday, January the 19th, all of the boxes, you should have received your tracking number by the end of the day. You know what? Let's say Monday. Just in case, we're gonna say Monday for the boxes. I have 2 extra 36 count Salentine's boxes that came available. We had 9, 7 of them are gone, so there's 2 left. Only 36 count, but this is the Salentine's full box that comes with the 3 extra smalls charts, the trim from Carrie, and the needle minder extra goodies and extra linen and floss and all of that good stuff. There's only 2. But lots of other charts, the big chart and the floss packs and porcelain linen. If you would like to participate in the stitch along, it starts February 14th. If you're getting the boxes in the mail, I know they're starting to arrive now. Please don't open and share on social media before February 14th because many stitchers are saving this as their Valentine's treat that they're going to save and open on the 14th to celebrate that they like themselves a whole lot. So, all right. I can't wait to stitch that.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to stitch that.
Can you pause it for a second?
I can.
I'm sorry.
Good.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Carrie had to take a phone call.
Yeah.
Told you about that. Okay, moving on. Our friend Ellen. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Brand new collaboration with Ellen, Maximum Cross Stitch. Ta-da!
Amazing.
Owls of the Black Forest. Look at that. But
That's
I mean,
incredible.
why show you the cover photo? Show you the pillow. Look at it.
It's amazing.
Isn't that great?
So this is 28 count.
This is 28 count Night Owl.
Yep.
Night Owl is the called for fabric. Roxy Floss Co Night Owl, and it is a full Roxy Floss Co floss pack. And I have to tell you, because this pillow, guess when she handed this to me?
I don't know. Because
Ellen's a rock star. She's a singer
Oh,
with
right.
the Crash Test Dummies.
Okay.
Canadian, very big Canadian band. I went to see them in Burlington, Ontario. Their show, when was it? December, no, I can't remember the date. It was in December. And after the show, we met out in the lobby and Ellen handed me this pillow. All dressed up in her rock star glam, looking beautiful. And of course, she was the only member of the band that came out front. And of course, you know, immediately people started coming over to talk to her and, you know, get her picture and all of that. And so, yeah, it was, you know, it's like sort of my 15 minutes of
Semi-fame
because I knew Ellen.
Fame by association.
Fame by association, that's right.
I'm a little disappointed that she didn't toss this to you in the audience. It'd be like a reverse thing happening.
Like pillow surfing instead of, what's it called?
Panties?
No.
No, you know at rock concerts.
Okay, so you went to panties. I went to people, you know, where they pass the people.
Okay.
Not throwing, but yes, she...
All right.
Thankfully, she didn't throw me her underwear from the stage. But yes, so isn't he great?
He's wonderful.
I love the style of this. Like, you know, the style of the wind, clouds. And I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I like that she did a border around it too.
Mm-hmm.
I could see doing this as tiny. Because he kind of looks like he's watching over you, right?
So, and she just did this over 2 threads, right?
I think so.
It's not gigantic.
Let me get my scope out here. Yeah.
Okay.
It always throws me when I see her stitches because Ellen stitches her top leg in the totally different. There's only two ways. the opposite way to me. Yeah. Oh, so good. So yeah, the called for fabric is Night Owl. And I think you need a 1/4 yard.
I love how impactful it is with such a limited palette.
Right?
It's amazing.
Yeah. This blue, what blue is that? Is that Great Lakes? Ellen usually picks Great Lakes. It's one of her favorite blues.
You're asking the wrong person.
Just navy. Okay, so oh, this is nice. The
just
blues in here
it's,
are just navy, steel, thin air, and deja blue.
Nice.
Beautiful. Yeah, gorgeous. So that's the pillow. Now, because this was a collaboration, oh, and I should tell you, if you like to stitch PDF charts, Evertote only carries the physical copies of Ellen's charts. If you want a PDF copy, Ellen has them on her website, which is www.maximumcrossstitch.com. And so you can buy a PDF from her. And we do have options in the listings for just the floss pack. So you don't have to buy the chart. And the floss, we've got floss packs only if you like PDFs. Speaking of PDFs.
Speaking of PDFs.
We've been talking about our big plans, right? So one of my big plans is to do a Heaven and Earth Designs this summer. So I actually bought an Android tablet so that I could buy Pattern Keeper. I bought a tablet for an app because I have never used, my husband, ever since I met him, well, a couple of years after I met him, because I was only 16 when I met him. But a couple of years after that, they started their business as a, you know, sort of Apple Macintosh consulting business. And so ever since, and even my parents, their first computer was an Apple IIc.
Oh, wow.
So I have been Apple like right from the get-go. So this tablet was a brand new experience. But yeah, I'm having fun with it.
Excellent.
I'm having fun with it. It's a pretty nice little, very user-friendly, I have to say. I've been impressed.
Yeah, Android platform is definitely user-friendly.
Yeah.
Like it was a big jump when I went from Android to Apple. It's like, what is happening right now? But now that I'm used to Apple, when I go back to my Android, it's like, okay.
Yeah, you have
dumb
to
it down,
switch,
Carrie,
right?
dumb it down.
Yeah. No, but I was impressed. I really like it. Okay, so because this is a collaboration, and I've told you that there's a PDF and a paper chart as well, there is a bag set combo that is available with the collaboration. Only, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So this is also available separately as a separate purchase. So the flat bags, the cross stitch style bags, we have larges and mediums. And for the first time, we are offering a combo that comes with both a notions pouch, the little zippered pouch, as well as a thread bed. So you've got your thread bed as well as the notions pouch and the flat bag. We do also offer this in a wedge tote style, which is the box bottom and the strap on the side, but that only comes with a notions pouch. We didn't include the thread bed with that. I have to show you the lining fabric. Do you see the notions pouch? We use that on the lining.
Oh, that's good.
So, I love this fabric.
It's really nice.
That's the lining, and there's a close-up. So I know it looks, it's funny because this is one of those chameleon fabrics that in some lights it looks black and in some lights it looks blue, like super dark navy blue. And in fact, what's interesting is that night owl fabric is exactly the same.
Yeah.
In some lights it looks blue and in some lights it's charcoal gray. So that's the collaboration with Ellen. All the good things. I kept wanting to call it Hootie and the Blowfish. I love that owl. All right. 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. Part 4 has just been released. I have been working so hard on part 3. I am this close to finishing.
Yeah.
And I left it at home.
Oh.
I left it at home because I was going to show it today, but it's at home. So I can show you parts 1 and 2. There's part 1. There's part 2.
They're so pretty.
They really are. You're gonna have to imagine part 3. Isn't that, oh, that's my stomach, excuse me. You're gonna have to imagine part 3. And here is the mock-up, the cover photo for part 4. Brand new. The title is My Heart is in Flames. So if you are brand new here and you've never heard of this project collaboration, there's a few things to know about it because there's always a lot of questions when this project comes around because Leanne posts about it in her Instagram page and she's got quite a popular Instagram following. So that's 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. Her name is Leanne. She's also a fellow Ontarian. We are here in London, Ontario, Canada. She's not London, but she lives in Ontario. And she'll post about it. And so a lot of new people who don't know anything about it will have a bunch of questions.
It's a little conceptual
they're gorgeous
as well.
It
right?
is. It's not, yeah, that's a great way to describe it. So all of these designs, and there's going to be 5 parts in total, they all come from one original sampler that is in Leanne's possession. She's taking motifs from the sampler, and on each cover photo she shows you the original motif and then she shows you her reproduction. And then that part is then released as its own chart. The entire sampler is not being reproduced, just the motifs individually. When the 5th and final part is released, it's going to be bigger than the previous 4. And so our plan to put these together is to combine them into one 9-patch design, incorporating the 5 cross-stitch pieces along with quilting cottons from your stash. Or, I mean, really, this is where the sort of, what was the word you used again?
Conceptual.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Conceptual. This is where that comes in. You can do anything with it. You could frame them all individually. You could only stitch 2 of the 5. You could stitch them as a bell pull. You could stitch them as, turn them into a bag, a cushion, anything.
I think if people want to kind of wrap their head around it, I think a great profile to go to, is that what you call it? Handle?
Oh, yeah.
Is Natalia.
Yes.
And I've put this into my attic. I think it's Demetria.Natalia.
I'll put her Instagram handle up on the screen here.
And if you just do a little scroll through her page, her tiles. God, I'm such an idiot when it comes
her
to
page,
social media.
yeah.
Okay. You'll see where she has taken, I think it's English paper piecing, and it will solidify what you can do with this project.
Yeah, anything.
Anything.
Because the thing is that actually those EPP flowers, she's actually making a quilt with those flowers. Those are not intended for her.
Oh, they're not?
But she's going to be using the same fabrics.
Okay.
She's going to use that fabric line.
It couldn't be more perfect.
They're perfect. Like, I'm going to be hard pressed to find anything that's that good. But that's the thing. Once you start looking and you fall in love with your own project, right? So part 4 is now available. The way this is sold on the website, and this is kind of important information, because in order to do all 5, the most economical way to do it is to buy the first chart and full floss pack. And then what we've done is every single part that we've released subsequently, we've offered this as the chart and a booster floss pack. So you're only buying the extra few flosses that you need to add to your floss ring in order to stitch the next chart. So for example, this newest one, it only uses 2 new flosses from what you already have if you've been following along parts 1 through 3. So in fact, if this is all you're purchasing, the chart and the 2 flosses, we're actually able to send it in a letter mail. So it's a fairly inexpensive way. So you don't have to purchase the full floss pack. That's kind of what I was trying to get around. Each one is offered as its own chart with a full floss pack, but you can also just buy the chart and a booster floss pack. And there's a differentiation between 1/2 and 2/2. And Hannah has done all of the math. Leanne provided us with stitch counts, and so Hannah has done the math. So if you are stitching 2/2, there's been, along the way, there's been 1 or 2 other flosses that you've needed an extra skein of. So it's all very clear in the listing. And to that end, all of our listings, if you have a question about something, read through the listing first, because it might answer your questions. All of our listings in their description on the website tell you what's the stitch count. We try. We usually remember to do all this. If we're missing something, let us know. Stitch count of the design, the flosses needed if it's a conversion, what size linen you need to purchase so that you've got enough, margins and whatnot. We do not typically sell custom cuts of linen unless it's a curated kit where I've got, some offcuts and some special cuts from Carrie that I will kit up with a project and floss, and I sell those. They're sort of like, I get to dream a little bit. Like, if I could stitch this, I love kitting stuff up. So I will kit something up and I'll put it in the shop. We've got some Valentine's things in there right now. So usually there's more information in the listing if you're looking for it. So there you go. So yeah, part 1 we did as a full thing where you could buy a 9-patch project bag along with part 1 and the full floss pack. And that was kind of our Stitch North 2023 collaboration that we did with Leanne. That's when we released the project into the world, part 1, and it came with a project bag. Matt and I are still making those 9-patch project bags for customers who still wish to purchase part 1. But again, you can buy part 1 on its own as well without the project bag. Recommended linen is Panettone. Now here's another, see, this is the thing, right? When it's a project like this, it depends on how you envision what you want to do with it. Leanne is stitching each of her 5 parts in the middle of a wide-eighth of fabric. A wide-eighth is 18 inches by 13 inches. And so she's stitching hers on the middle of that wide-eighth.
18 inches or 13 inches? An eighth.
It's 18 by 13.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, so 18 by 13. And so when part 5 is released, she's also going to be releasing, oh, she looks a little stiff this morning.
She does.
Yeah. That's my dog. Not talking about people in the workshop. She's going to be releasing some extra border motifs along with part 5 in case you want to make your smaller first 4 parts the same size as part 5. You can add some pretty stitched borders to make them the same stitch count size approximately as the middle motif. I'm probably just going to keep mine as they are, and my corners are going to be smaller, and then I'm going to use rectangles to fill in my, so my fill-in will be not square, right? It'll still work. So mine, I took an 1/8 and I cut it in half because I'm on 40 count and I could fit 2 pieces on 1/8 of linen. So the sides are a little tight, so I would only recommend doing that if you do not intend to stitch any extra borders. If you do, then I would stick with an 1/8 like Leanne is doing. Okay, so there's 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. My heart is in flames. Modern folk embroidery. Take 'em. So last year we did a thing, and Jacob came to Canada, and we had 2 weekend retreats called Jacob Palooza in October here in London, Ontario at the Convention Center. And boy howdy, it was fun.
It was really
It was
fun.
so fun.
Yeah.
It was so fun. Having him here was amazing. Like walking into the Convention Center at 6 a.m. and there's Jacob in like real life. And it was just,
surreal.
it was, but it wasn't. It was like we just picked up right where we'd left off chatting on WhatsApp the day before, you know?
Oh yeah.
So he's just, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What up?
All right, we took a little recess break and now we're back and ready to tell you all about all the modern folk embroidery things. So, 2 charts. One of them was an original modern folk embroidery design. The other one was a reproduction sampler. The original design is called In Friendship. I even got my initials on the front.
Yeah, you did.
That's me. And at the retreat, we offered 3 color choices. Of course, this is monochromatic. You can stitch it with whatever color you want. But we had Falu Red, chalkboard for the black, and the one that I'm stitching is Royale. And here is how far I'm at with mine. I love it. I love it. So this is 28 count speculoos linen. That's just a mark from my, I've got a pair of rods that need a few more staples put in them, and so they don't, anyways, you don't need to know that. We'll just hide that. So this is Royale, and it is the most beautiful blue, two strands of floss over 2, and In Friendship.
Very
Did you
nice.
see, look at Carrie's nails.
Oh yeah.
She came in this morning and I said, Carrie.
We didn't
Honestly,
call
it
each
was
other.
not on purpose.
No.
Which is quite hilarious. I
Yeah.
think this is the 2nd or 3rd time that's
I think so.
happened.
I mean, it's slightly different. Mine's
It is
more
slightly
purpley,
different,
but
yeah. But it's like we're on the same. We
weird.
get a craving for a certain color.
Yeah.
So that was the first chart, In Friendship. And again, so we have this chart exclusively for a little while. Jacob and I didn't talk about it for how long, but you can purchase the PDF versions of both of these charts on his website, www.modernfolkembroidery.com. So if you prefer PDF, these are available now as PDF from his shop. So that was the small chart.
Yeah.
Next, there was the big chart. He thinks that this is the biggest sampler in his collection.
It's unbelievable.
It's amazing. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna, Hannah, he brought it to the retreat, and Hannah took a picture of it. And it's like, when you see it in real life, like there's no comparison seeing it in real life. But she took a great picture. So I'm gonna put that picture in here so that you can see what the original looks like. This is a very specialer. It's a special sampler from in between the years 1774 to 1801. And I've been practicing Chirchi and Girchi, a Frisian mother-daughter sampler. The mother started the sampler in 1774 and the daughter completed the sampler by 1801. And it is a stunner. I mean, the alphabets in here are next level. And so one of the lessons that Jacob taught during the retreat was about stitching Frisian letters. And so there's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful chart. Carrie, of course, developed the floss palette for it, for the retreat. And so this is mine because, of course, I'm going to stitch it. I have to stitch both of the Jacob charts that were from the retreat. I mean, how could I not, right?
How can you not?
So this is going to be one of my starts this year. This is the floss pack. It is absolutely beautiful. And I'll be stitching it 1/2 because I'm going to probably stitch it on a 40 count. So let's talk linen. Let's talk linen. The called for linen that Carrie did for the retreat was speculas, and that is when we released speculas and put it out into the world as a repeatable Roxy color. So Carrie's one person. Now she has some help, but she's still one person. She's a small dyer. And we sell a lot of linen, and these are big, big charts. And so each one requires a 1/2 yard cut. That's a lot of linen to go through for just, like a few customers come in and you gotta be fast. So if there's linen in the shop, I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the 1/2 yard cuts because there's this one, and then there's another chart coming, the Peacorn chart.
The Peacorn.
1/2 yard cuts. It's a lot of linen, but they're gigantic charts. So if speculas is not in stock, I've got some options for you. And I've got some options for you in case speculas may not be your jam as well.
Yeah.
So these 4 yards, believe it or not, 2 of them are the same recipe.
Sorry, I was checking to see if the
Me
pen
too.
was...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
God.
Thank you.
We are well trained.
We are well trained. The pen nib didn't want it out near the linen. So Carrie's going to talk to us a little bit about linens in a minute.
Yeah.
So speculas is, this is a 32 count yard of speculas. So you can see it's a lighter color.
Now some of the people don't like that tone on tone nature, but if you didn't benefit from seeing,
because we had some of the alphabet letters and some of the other stitching are the light colored flosses. Yeah.
Yeah. If you saw the sampler in real life, it's an antique sampler and a lot of the colors have faded and it is very tonal.
So it becomes more of a texture thing in certain places.
But that's not for everybody.
No.
So we have other options.
So if that's not your jam, or if it's out of stock and you would prefer something else, I pulled the floss, I did a floss toss on panettone and biscuit. So let's do biscuit first. This is a yard of 36 count biscuit, darker than speculas, warm in nature, and there's the floss pack on it. Gorgeous.
So you're not going to lose anything.
No. Even some of the tans should still show.
Yeah.
They'll still show. If biscuit is out of stock, panettone is also a good option. Now, panettone.
Let's talk turkey.
Let's talk turkey. Those of you who have purchasing linen from us for a while now have probably noticed that if you ordered panettone 10 months ago versus if you ordered panettone last month, you may have received 2 pieces of linen that looked different.
Yeah. So, you know what? I'm just going to disclose, I'm not going to disclose trade secrets, but I am going to tell people because I think it's good knowledge for people and just things to know. So there's usually 4 variables when you're dyeing anything. You've got your dye pigment, you've got your recipe and your method, and then you've got environment. And environment plays a huge factor in the dye process. And I should say that the dye pigments that the industry uses, they were created for 100% cotton, which is why everything turns out beautiful on floss. But they weren't created for linen fibers. So it's a bit of a wild card, right? You don't know how it's always going to turn out. So environment is obviously a big factor and something that I can't control. We try to control it, but I can't control Mother Nature and her humidity in southwestern Ontario, because she is a nasty, nasty person in the summer. And
then you factor in air conditioning. Temperature changes, then you turn on the furnace and you've got that. So believe it or not, these are 2 yards of panettone. Exact same recipe, exact same process. This one turns out like this. This one turns out like this.
Yeah.
It can also depend on, Carrie's base is all Zweigart. It can depend on what comes from the mill.
Yeah. They've changed up sizing, or
they source their raw goods from all over the world, right? So different batches of their material has come from different places, right? So it's going to have a different fiber content. That can affect
not fiber content, but sourcing, where they're sourcing their fiber. So
which grew in a different location.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So and this is the beauty and the frustration of a small indie hand-dyed product. So it's labeled panettone, and if you get it and it's not what you expected because it doesn't look like what you ordered last time, that is just the nature of the batch. It's a dye lot. Winter is going to be a little bit different than the summer. They're all going to be a little bit different. I try to only chart up things on certain kinds of linen that I know are going to look amazing on either. So winter versus summer, but sometimes it's the other way around depending on how high the air conditioner is, how much humidity is in the air. So I hesitate to label it summer and winter because it's not always accurate.
No.
But this version of panettone pulled a little bit more green. This version pulled a little bit more red. This floss pack looks amazing on
either.
Both.
Yeah.
So if you order panettone, you might get one or the other. You might get a little bit more green undertone, or you might get a little more warmer red undertone. If you don't like that unknown quantity, I'd say for now the current dye lot of biscuit is the warmer, less green.
Oops.
And there's only the one version of it currently in the shop. There isn't a lighter version. So they're all gorgeous. I promise, they're all gorgeous. It's just that, when it's not what you expect, I think that it's really important that people understand.
Yeah. And I will give credit where credit is due. Caroline is bordering on OCD about it's a very thin line at this point of making sure that her customers get what they think they're getting, right? So I think that's why we have linen in the shop that will be named, but it will be listed as OOAK, which is one of a kind.
Yeah.
Because we don't want you to order something and you've got in your head that it's a certain color, and then you get something. We're not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. We'll just name it something else and sell it off as a one of a kind, instead of you being disappointed when you get something in the mail.
We try our very best in the online photos to show the wide variety that you might receive. It's still not perfect because the batches are so small and you never know what you're going to get, right? Literally every time it's kind of this is a one of a kind. But panettone at least is consistent. It's either one or the other. And really, the thing is, the truth of the matter is, when you open up this yard, so this is the green version of panettone, okay? But when you open it up and you look at the whole yard, check it out. There's the red. See that? There's the red, but it's more subdued. And it's a little bit more modeled into the background, which is why the green shows more. Whereas in the other one, the red just pulled a little bit harder in more surface area of the yard. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So
I do know what you mean.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
I do know.
But yeah, so. It is a tricky, tricky business.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things. Could I tweak my recipes every batch to get it just right? I could, but then I'd be in a straitjacket. So we're not going to do that.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
It is what it is.
Keep doing my best. We'll keep doing our best to show you what they look like, because it's so tough as an online business to show you what they look like in reality when you can't see it and touch it. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
So yeah, so there's some options. Fantastic chart. I mean,
it's so
come on,
spectacular.
It's amazing. It's amazing. All of our floss packs should be itemized what is in the floss pack in the listing. So if you've already got a healthy stash of Roxy Floss Co, you should be able to pick and pull from the singles collection to beef out a palette for it. Good. Oh, and he does provide, does he provide a DMC? Yes, he does. So there is a DMC list in there. But again, so good. Oh, so good. Okay, so along with those projects, the other things that we had that were special at the Modern Folk Embroidery Retreat were a bag, a needle minder, and all of our attendees got a thread bed. So we have released and we have a lot of this fabric and it's gorgeous. So we've got project bags, and we've got a project bag and thread bed combo. This was the bag set that we released at the retreat. No notions pouch, just the thread bed, and the thread bed does not have snaps. So that's the thread bed. And we also released the needle minders. We do not sell our needle minders separately. We only sell them with a bag set combo. So I am sorry. I know lots of people would like to just buy the needle minder. We don't sell them separately because of our carrier's policy on magnets. So we have to ship them with a bag set. So this was the retreat needle minder, which I love. Beautiful. So that is a motif from one of the charts. It's fantastic. The magnets on these are phenomenal. They're great needle minders. And then of course we did a re-release of Jacob. We had to do that. So you'll see in the shop, these are called the portrait needle minders. It says stitch and be merry. And then this is the project needle minder. So both of those are available with this bag set. You have the choice to buy one or either or both. Or neither, just the bag.
Or neither.
Or neither. All the options. All the choices. Okay, so that's Modern Folk Embroidery. Now, because we're still talking about Modern Folk Embroidery, I'm going to tell you about a little notions that we've popped in the store. I've had these in for a while. We were selling them at the retreat. These are the Clover Dome threaded needle cases. Clover products are well known. This is what it looks like. This is mine. I've got it in use for my small Virlanda sampler. Now what this is you can pre-load 10 needles with thread, and you load them in, and it's got numbers 1 through 10. So I load them in 1 through 10, and then what you do is you wind the thread up inside the bobbin case, and then you do number 2 and wind it up, do number 3, wind it up, and then you've got 10 fully loaded needles in here, and then you take them out 10 to 1. So you take them out in opposite order, and then stick it in your project bag, you're good to go. 10 fully loaded needles. You can put the empty needle back in its slot and reload it when they're all empty. I love it because you use the word OCD. It ticks that box for me that it's a known quantity, and when that's done, I've fulfilled 10 full needles of floss into a project. I love that. So for a monochromatic design, these are really cool. Shipping wise, these are a pain in the butt because they're not flat and shipping is not cheap. So this kind of purchase, this would be an add-on if, you know, you're getting some other things like a bag set or linen and floss order that's coming in a thick package, and then it's a lot easier for us to ship these as part of the shipment. So that's our Clover thread dome. Floss folios. We have some new floss folios that we released into the shop this go around. I'm trying to have a few different ones every month. Yeah. So I'm trying to move towards a once a month big shop update. Full of lies for February because Holiday Countdown 2024, we are releasing pre-sales for that on February 1st, all by itself. This was the floss folio that we put out last month with the Jeanette Douglas Margaret Meadows inspired spool kit. So they're wooden spools. One of them is a scissor holder. The other one has an ornament holder. I have to stitch those.
They're cute.
They are so sweet. And so this project bag is only sold exclusively with that set. So we have 3 new ones. I'm going to show you the ones that I only have a few of left. And these are like, this is it. I don't have more. I think I've got 9 of these. Butterfly moths. And there's the, so the floss folio has the pockets. There's a pocket on the front, 2 pockets in the back, thread bed material, and felt pages. So you can divide up your projects. There's room for recipe card notes in the front here. I have started using these all the time because they fit inside my project bag, and I can put 3 or 4 separate projects, floss packs, and extra leftover floss bits in between the pages so they stay together, and then that goes in my bigger bag, and then I keep my scroll rods separate. So
organization at its finest.
I know. I'm still talking, aren't I? Sorry. Feel free to jump in at any time.
You're good.
This is the sewing one. I can't remember the name that Hannah gave it, but I think these are almost gone. I might only have 2 left. Scissors on the inside. We have more of this fabric, so we'll probably do another something with the blue scissors. But yeah, there's only a couple of those left. And I love these. This is leftover fabric from the Isabella's Heart bag that we did last, I think it was a year and a half ago. But it's gorgeous. And we'd put the hearts on the inside. Sweet. Nice. Yeah. So this we have more fabric of this. So those will be in the shop for a little while longer. So those are the new floss folios. The only thing left to tell you about is some new linen, and then a super exciting Peacorn.
Peacorn shirt.
Peacorn. So two new linens are in the shop. The first one, Carrie struggled with lentil, recreating lentil.
Yep, I did.
Lentil is no more.
No.
Lentil is no more. But I really
it's
wanted...
hanging out with peanut brittle somewhere.
Peanut brittle and lentil have gone on a vacation and they're not coming back. But I really wanted an option for Lovely Dove, which is an artsy housewife chart that is on this beautiful sort of greenish, yellowy green background fabric. And so she came up with this. And it's gorgeous. This fabric, and actually it's coming out pretty true.
Yeah, not bad.
So this is now in the shop. It is repeatable, and it's called Pepita, which is a little seed, like a pumpkin seed. but different.
It's raw.
Papita. Yeah. Yeah, is that a raw pumpkin seed?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well there you go.
I mean, not slimy out of the pumpkin.
See, I thought they were different.
No.
No, they're the same?
Potatoes, yeah.
Oh, okay. They're yummy to eat.
They are too. Love them in salads.
Yeah. So that's a new linen. When these things are new and they're just starting to come in, I think we only have 36 and 40 count listed. I can't remember off the top of my head. Things move fast, and sometimes I can't.
Shockingly fast.
Shockingly fast. I can't keep up with putting into the website when something sells out. I don't often catch it for a couple of days. So bear with us. I do my best to try and keep inventory in there that we have that's available. Speculas has been a problem because it sells as fast as I put it in there, it sells. So stop dying such good stuff, would ya? All right. The second new linen that is now officially in the shop, and I have to take credit for this. I named this one. Hannah names everything else because she is the master namer. If you love our floss names and our linen names, she's master of puns.
Yeah.
Hannah names everything. This one I named.
And she comes up with them so quick.
She's
like
so
it's
fast.
Scary quick.
So fast.
Yeah.
She names everything and they're so funny. It's naming day is always a good day.
Yeah.
It's fun. So this is the new linen.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Carrie show you because she's already got her project started on it.
Wait. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I hope this shows up. 'Cause it's been hard to photograph.
Oh my gosh, it's perfect.
Is it showing up dark
It's
enough?
perfect.
So it's
The name of this linen is called Pub Crawl.
what? Peacorn unicorn.
Peacorn. See, you did it too.
Peacorn unicorn.
Peacorn unicorn badger.
Pub acronym.
The pub. Peacock unicorn badger pub crawl. Pub crawl. And it is the most perfect background green for the chart, which I do have. I knew I brought it. Here's the Peacorn chart. Look at that chart.
Yeah.
Many of you, this is your bucket list stitch. I know it's been mine for so many years. I'm turning 50 this year. I am going to stitch this year. Well, I'm going to start it this year. This is a long-term project. So
I did start mine. I abandoned everything else just so I could start this. And
oh my good gravy.
Yeah. Got a wee little start. I got a bee and a bird.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Carrie, this is amazing.
It's pretty fun.
So we've got two options for you. For those of you who do not wish to stitch the background in this chart, peacock, a unicorn, and a badger. There we go. Because of course, this is supposed to be full coverage, but many people don't want to stitch the background. So this linen is Carrie's option for you. Solution to not have to stitch the background. I, on the other hand, love stitching background. So I actually have my piece of, I'm going to do mine on biscuit. Biscuit, panettone, speculas, any of those would work because you need a half yard. I think the cut, what did we say? This was the cut size for a 40 count.
It's like 26 by 27 or something like that.
Yeah. And so I'm going to
24
do
by 20. Oh, okay. Yeah. Mine for 36. Mine was 26 by 27 or 27 square or something like that.
Yeah. So the 36 count half yard, you think you've got 2.5 inches on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great if you've got it on scroll rods.
Yeah. Always double check your stitch counts when you're starting your piece and make sure your orientation is correct on your fabric because, and this is actually really important, when you're dealing with a piece of fabric that's only 1 inch bigger on one side than the other, there's not a lot of room for error if you start on the wrong, if you make your horizontal your vertical.
Yeah.
Because you've only got one extra. Well, if you've got a half yard and you cut it down, make sure.
Pro tip. Just
Pro tip.
cut it square.
Just cut it square, bigger.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we do have 2 floss pack options, one for full coverage and one for not full coverage. The not full coverage takes away 4 skeins of floss. That's the difference. I am using spinach as my background color. Hannah did the floss conversion directly from the DMC list that's in here, and this is why we do not offer a Roxy to DMC floss conversion, because 3 of the colors were horrible. Like they didn't match at all what I saw on the front, and I didn't want to use them. It was a super, super, super bright yellow and a super, super bright tealy color. And so I took her pack and I pulled those 2 out. We subbed them in for more subdued cohesive colors and put that pack together, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't have my floss pack here. Oh, yes I do. Yeah, lies. It's not small.
Yeah, it's not small.
So there's one side.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea.
Look at those colors. I mean, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, yeah, so exciting to start that.
Excellent.
Amazing.
It is a fun stitch.
I have said it all and more.
Good.
Thanks for being my company.
Thanks for having me. Are we doing another Flosstube on Thursday? I mean, I don't care. I'm here for it, but
I think we have to, because I have a couple of finishes.
oh, well, there you go. And I've been working on other stuff,
Yeah.
obviously.
I've been knitting. Now I haven't done a Flosstube on my other channel since before Christmas, but if we want to stay on schedule,
Yeah.
it's important to stay on schedule. Anyways, we'll
Okay.
say goodbye for today.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for
Happy
joining us.
stitching. Take care. Bye.
Bye.